Night of Champions is finally here, and it is coming at kind of a weird time right now for the WWE, because let's call a spade a spade. WWE hasn't necessarily been the best as of late. I'm not saying that it's been the absolute worst that we have ever seen in the WWE, because trust me, it's not. However, it really has not been that good. And with Night of Champions kind of being WWE's last major PLE before SummerSlam, I'm really curious as to how Night of Champions all unfolds. Are we going to see one of those landscape shifting nights like Triple H is always talking about, or are we going to get a show that just doesn't move the needle at all? I'm also curious to see how Night of Champions is going to all play out because this is our first 6 match PLE that we've had in what feels like an extremely long time. So I am really curious as to how Night of Champions is going to all unfold, given everything that has come into it, the build. Again, WWE not being at its best right now, and obviously into summer, and eventually we hit SummerSlam. So I do have a lot of curiosity with Night of Champions and how everything is going to play out. So, obviously, this is our preview video for Night of Champions, but before we get too far ahead into the video and we get to the match card, I want to say that if you are a WWE fan, consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. That is all we post is WWE related content. So if you are a WWE fan, again, consider subscribing. It's free. You can always change your mind later. Moving on to the match card for Night of Champions, and these matches are in no particular order. I will say I did save both the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring finals for the very end. So again, these matches in no particular order. Let's start off by talking about the Women's United States Championship match between Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. Now, I am excited to see this match. I think their matches in the past have been pretty good. I think they work okay together. I'm just not all that excited because we've seen a Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton match time and time again now. And it really does feel like when they just don't have anything for these two, they just magically find their way back to each other. Now, I will say, in their fairness, that things do look a little bit different this time around because on one side you have Jade Cargill, who has B-Fab and Meechin running around with her, and now you've kind of got Chelsea Green, who is attempting to get on Tiffany Stratton's good side. And in this match, I do expect to see some shenanigans with B-Fab and Meechin, which I think would lead to Chelsea Green coming out and kind of leveling the playfield a little bit. And I do think that Tiffany Stratton is going to win, and I think it's going to be largely because of Chelsea Green. It's clear that WWE is telling that story between Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton, and I think that they're going to continue that story moving forward, and it just wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for that story to continue if Tiffany Stratton loses. So, I think she wins, retains, with the help of Chelsea Green. I think that story moves forward, and we seemingly get those two teaming up at some point. Moving on to Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker in a steel cage match. I'm very excited for this match, and I really hope that it is going to serve as a very satisfying conclusion to this Braun Breaker Seth Rollins feud. I think that this match could and probably should be their last match against each other. I think their feud, while it was very good in my opinion, I think has run its course. I think having it end in a steel cage is a very fitting way. And again, my hope is that they just give us a very satisfying conclusion to this feud. Now, as for who I think wins, I'm going to end up going with Braun Breaker. And I think I landed on that because Braun needs this win so bad. I've been talking about it in recent Braun Breaker feuds where he needs the win and WWE just hasn't given it to him. I said the same thing about Braun's feud with CM Punk, and CM Punk obviously ended up winning that feud. And for Braun Breaker to win a major feud with arguably probably his biggest rival on the main roster so far in Seth Rollins, I think would go a very long way for Braun Breaker. And let's be honest, a loss for Seth Rollins, it doesn't hurt Seth Rollins. Seth is at the point of his career where pretty much nothing can hurt him. Now, that's not me saying that I'm not interested in what's next for Seth Rollins, because I really genuinely am. I think him going around the WWE and trying to right some of his wrongs from his past, I think it could be a pretty compelling story for Seth. But again, I think Braun, he needs this win more than anything. And for him to kind of get back into the upper echelon of the future of the WWE, I think it could start with a big win against Seth Rollins here. Moving on to the United States Championship match between Trick Williams and Ricky Saints. I am extremely excited for this match. I am a massive fan of both Trick and Ricky. I think this match could end up being a sleeper pick for match of the night when it's all said and done. I think it could be that good. Now, I think that seeing someone like a Carmelo Hayes coming into this match, I think is very much on the table, considering what he is currently doing right now with Ricky Saints, where it feels like they want to give those two one of those 7-game series type of things. And honestly, I'm all for that because those Ricky Saints Carmelo Hayes matches have been fantastic. So I do think that that is a legit possibility, and that's what I'm going to end up saying happens, and I think Trick Williams is going to end up winning and retaining. And honestly, I'm curious as to what's next for Trick Williams and what that next big feud with Trick Williams is going to be for the United States Championship. Because again, feels like Ricky Saints and Carmelo Hayes are kind of busy doing their own thing right now, so I don't really know which direction they could take Trick in next, but I am curious to see how it all unfolds. I'm not necessarily worried as of right now because WWE has shown that they are willing to take pretty good care of Trick Williams in terms of booking and storytelling and stuff like that. So I'm not worried yet, but history does show that WWE has a tendency to do some strange things with mid-card championships. So I think Trick wins. I don't know what's next for him, but I do think Carmelo Hayes comes in, costs Ricky Saints the match, and those two continue their fantastic back and forth matches. Up next, we have the Undisputed Championship match between Cody Rhodes, Gunther, and Sami Zayn. And oh my gosh, where do I even start with this match? This story has been so goofy, so weird, so all over the place, and it's just felt like a jumbled mess. First off, I absolutely hate how Gunther has looked throughout the course of this feud. I think he has looked like an absolute idiot, to say the least. I'm sorry. Between him losing at Clash in Italy because he had his foot under the rope, the ref didn't see it, you had that whole story. And then on the most recent Friday Night SmackDown, we saw him lose a championship match because he attacked Sami Zayn, who was the special guest referee, which Gunther picked Sami Zayn to be the special guest referee because Sami Zayn has a history with Cody Rhodes. So Gunther just losing in these absolutely idiotic ways, it's not helping him at all. And he has just looked so bad in this feud. And for a guy that retired John frickin' Cena of all people, you'd expect WWE to take a little bit better care of the guy. But they have not done him any favors. And look, I want to see Gunther win this match. I want to see him become the new undisputed champion. I think it's something that WWE could kind of use right now to give them a little shot in the arm a little bit. Having a new undisputed champion. I'd even be okay with Sami Zayn winning this match. And honestly, I feel like it would be a pretty entertaining title run with Sami Zayn as the undisputed champion right now, given the pretty solid work that he's doing as this heel character right now. However, this is an undisputed championship match, and Cody Rhodes is the undisputed champion right now. And I don't think he's going to lose. I just don't see WWE taking the title off of him anytime soon. And you could say that's the right decision, you could say that's the wrong decision. I think WWE is in a spot right now where they need a little shot in the arm, and having Cody lose the title would be a pretty big shot in the arm. Again, I just don't see it happening. I think Cody's going to end up winning because he's Cody Rhodes. Moving on to the Queen of the Ring final, where we have Liv Morgan taking on Io Sky. And oh man, this tournament has just frustrated me to no end. First off, the one person in this match, Liv Morgan, is the Women's World Champion right now. Why she was even in this tournament to begin with is absolutely beyond me. On the other side, you have Io Sky. I have no problems with Io Sky. She's a fantastic superstar. She is amazing at what she does. She is one of the most popular WWE superstars on the main roster. However, I just don't think she needs to win the Queen of the Ring tournament. I said it in a previous video. WWE could have made a pretty big star out of someone new in the women's division, and they elect to go with someone who is already a champion and someone who is already incredibly popular, incredibly beloved, and doesn't need the Queen of the Ring. And that's not me saying that I'm not excited to watch this match, because it should be a very, very good match. And something that I think is a legit possibility is a possible returning Stephanie Valkyr coming in and costing Liv the match. Now, I don't know what the timeline for Stephanie Valkyr's injury is. I haven't seen anything online about it. I don't read the dirt sheets, or I try to stay out of rumors and stuff like that. So this could be completely irrelevant, and Stephanie Valkyr could be out for a couple more months, but I think it's something that could be a possibility. And honestly, I think that that's the only way that Liv is going to lose this match. I think Liv is going to win unless Stephanie comes in and costs her the match. And I think Liv wins simply because, again, they just don't have anything for her. That's why she's in this tournament to begin with. So they're going to need something for her to do, and that something could be winning Queen of the Ring. Then that takes us to the King of the Ring finals between Obafemi and Jey Uso. The matchup that not a lot of people wanted to see. We all wanted to see Obafemi versus Javon Evans. Those who watched NXT know exactly why we wanted to see Obafemi and Javon Evans again. Those who don't watch NXT, you really should want Obafemi and Javon Evans in a match sometime soon, because they are absolutely fantastic together. Now, this is one of those matches where it comes down to who I want to see win. And who I want to see win is Obafemi. Who I think is going to win is Jey Uso. And look, again, I don't want this to happen. I want Oba to win. I don't want to see Jey Uso yeeting around with the king's crown on his head. I don't want to see that. But just looking at WWE's current landscape right now and seeing how heavy it has been with the Bloodline storyline, I think it's going to be Jay's win here. The easiest decision to have would be to have Obafemi win. I just don't know if it's going to happen. And I'm not necessarily ruling out some interference or shenanigans here. I think possibly kind of similar to what we saw on Monday Night Raw, where we saw Solo costing Jimmy Uso the match. I think we could see something similar to that here, where we see Solo come in and cost Jay the match. I think that's something that could be likely and is very much on the table. And I'm not necessarily ruling out an appearance from Brock Lesnar. Again, that story has been a little bit quiet as of late, and that's usually when WWE likes to kind of surprise everybody. So I'm not necessarily ruling out a Brock Lesnar appearance. I think it's rather unlikely, but I'm not ruling it out. So again, I want Oba to win, but I just think that they're going to end up going with Jey Uso, and we could have a very interesting group of WWE fans that night if Jay does win. So this is where I want to hear from you guys. Let me know down below in the comments section your thoughts on my picks, and also let me know who you think is going to win, who you think is going to lose, and where the stories could go from here. And also let me know what you think about Night of Champions as a whole. Have you enjoyed the build to Night of Champions? Have you not enjoyed it? As always, don't forget to leave all of your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section, and while you're down there, swing by the description and click the Linktree link. That is the only link in the description for a reason. That is because it will take you to all of the social media platforms for this channel. I do strongly suggest going and checking out our X page besides YouTube. I'm most active over on X. We do updates for Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and the PLEs. And we are also over on Instagram and TikTok as well. Over there, you can expect clips from these videos, and it's just another place for me to post when I do upload a video on here to YouTube. So if you do enjoy these videos and are looking for some extra content, again, Linktree link in the description. It'll take you to wherever you want to go. So with all that said and finally done, that is going to do it for this video here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button again. Both are free, both really help out the channel a lot. And of course, if you have made it to this point of the video, I want to say thank you very, very much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch these videos here, because it genuinely does mean the world to me. And as always, stay tuned for more WWE content coming in the future. We'll see you next time.